By the time Axel arrived a few blocks from the building, night had fallen completely. He had been running for a while and was already out of breath. He felt guilty about ditching his friends, but he kept telling himself that what he was doing would keep them safe. I'm not putting them in danger over something I caused, he said to himself. After getting his breath back, he continued further towards the massive building. When he arrived, he found the place is under heavy security. Looks like Professor Reed increased his security staff after what happened, he whispered. Luckily, going around the front wasn't his plan. Remembering what Patrick had shown him on the blueprints, he carefully made his way around the building and towards the back. The maintenance tunnels were accessed by a special elevator near the loading dock. As he made his way around back, Axel saw the entrance surprisingly unguarded, and the door was wide open. They must have been expecting us to come back, he sighed. Axel thought about trying to find another way in, but he knew that there wasn't time. I've got to take this risk. Anthony and my classmates could depend on it. So, with his nerves shaking, Axel hurried into the open door and began descending the stairs into the tunnel. The tunnels were cold and large. As Axel made his way forward, he eventually found the conveyor belt that was seen on the blueprints. Ugh, he gagged. What is this stuff? Sitting on the belts were large vats filled with what looked like brown dirt that smelled awful. He then remembered that this material headed for the botanical gardens. It's fertilizer, he groaned as he pinched his nose. Then Axel noticed something else. Above him, the roof extended upward into a large cylinder shape, and a long metallic bridge was spanning across the belt high off the ground. Maybe I can get up there and get to the first floor unnoticed, he wondered. He spotted a ladder and her propped against the wall. Although it was heavy, Axel managed to move it. It unfolded and positioned it just short of the bridge. Axel gulped as he climbed up towards it. More height. Just keep looking up, he said anxiously. Axel reached the top of the ladder and stretched to reach the floor of the bridge. Luckily, the ladder was just tall enough to allow him to grab hold. But as he pulled himself up, he felt the bridge shift. Axel then noticed that the bridge was rather rusty looking. It quickly became apparent that it hadn't been used in a long time. Cautiously moving forward, the metal creaked and groaned until he reached the concrete floor on the other side. This must be the basement, he noted, noticing the concrete walls and floors compared to the metallic ones that lined the tunnels below. Looking behind him, he saw the other end of the bridge leading into another hallway. While the side he was on led to another stairway. Looks like luck is on my side tonight, he said to himself as he approached the stairs and started to climb. It didn't take long for him to reach another door. The plaque bolted into its front read, ground floor. Axel gulped. Gently pushing open the door, Gently pushing the door open, he found himself back in the lobby. He looked around and found the inside of the building completely deserted, despite the lights being on. After carefully closing the door behind him, Axel once again returned to the hallway where he had found the secret lab yesterday. This time, Axel remembered how he found the lab, and quickly arrived at the secret door. He entered the secret passage and was soon back in the mysterious lab. He felt chills just standing there again. "Welcome back," came a voice. The lights suddenly turned on and startled Axel, and he frantically grabbed a wrench sitting on the table, pulling it in front of him to defend himself. He found the governor standing near the animal cages. Axel was scared, but he tried desperately not to show it. "Where's Anthony? And where are my classmates?" he demanded, trying to sound brave. But the governor just smiled softly. "You don't need to defend yourself against me. I'm not going to hurt you." "Oh," she said kindly. Axel was confused and doubtful. "Then why are those two trying to hurt me and my friends?" he asked shakily. "I apologize for their methods," the governor replied. "The reason why I wanted you here was because I wanted to explain everything. These disappearances may seem frightening, but they're actually for a good cause. Follow me, I'll show you." Axel still held on to the wrench as he found himself following the governor deeper into the lab, which was much bigger than he had realized. Opening another door, where Axel saw Anthony, Austin, and Caleb behind the bars in one half of the room. "Axel!" Anthony cried. "You're alive!" Austin exclaimed. "And you got captured," Caleb groaned. "Hardly," the governor replied. "He's here to see what this is all about. Just like all of you." Everyone went silent as the governor opened her laptop and hooked it up to a large screen in front of them. As the screen was turned on, and she turned back to Axel. "You may not know this, but even though we've never met, I know exactly how you feel every day." Hey. Axel felt nervous hearing that. "What do you mean?" he asked. The governor's kind face dissolved into a face of pain and grief. "I used to be just like you when I was little, wanting to show the world what I was capable of and what I could bring to society. But society had other plans. Everywhere I went, I was outcasted, judged, and treated as a freak." Axel felt a pain in his stomach. It all sounded too familiar, but the governor wasn't finished. "That's the thing, isn't it? All this harsh judgment and unacceptable behavior doesn't just appear from nowhere. All behavior, good and bad, stems from one thing: influence. You see, Axel, influence is more powerful than people are led to believe. It can be used to make people behave in ways that are often frowned upon. And it's especially dangerous towards children. How and where a child is brought up makes a world of a difference compared to others. They often say that the world simply isn't made for individuals like us, unique, untraditional, and bold. But what if I told you that I had discovered a way to make that statement false?" Axel nervously looked at the governor. "By doing what?" he asked. The governor smiled confidently. "You've probably been wondering why I chose Fast Track Tech to help me with the LNG program. Well, what you and your classmates tested, it wasn't exactly the final product. I just needed a way to find the right candidate, to put it simply. Simply. She eyed Austin and Caleb intently. After that, and I had my colleagues go out and retrieve the rest of my candidates. I was going for more, but I'm afraid your friend Chloe was beginning to catch on to their pattern. Axel's heart raced hearing Chloe's name. Anyway, my attention to what this new program is a bit bolder than you might think. The governor pressed some keys on her laptop, and an image of the building appeared on the screen on the wall. The true purpose of this program is to correct problematic children in schools all over the world. Once the program is uploaded into a school's computer system, it can secretly access the behavioral data of every student, pinpointing each student into their LNG account. And then the true purpose begins. She pressed another button, and on the screen, the red orb sitting on top of the bill and lit up as radio waves began emitting from it in a cartoonish way. Subliminal messages will be cast from the tower that can only be heard by those targeted by the program and fed to the individual right from their computer screens and headphones, the governor explained proudly. But Axel was horrified. Now everything made sense, and he was having trouble staying calm. Once the process is complete, everyone will practically be the same person. No more judgment, no more bullying, no more misery. For the first time in our history, order will finally be solidified. She then turned to Axel. The reason I had to keep this a secret was because I knew none of today's leaders would ever support this. But with the support of someone like you, who's never had any friends or the freedom to be yourself, and testing the program's capabilities on their own enemies, they just might be able to see the potential. The governor outstretched her hand towards Axel. Ready to live the life you always wanted? She asked. Axel looked at the governor's hand, and then at the cage holding Austin and the others. His eyes were wide with panic as she stared at him, almost begging. Axel then reached into his pocket and felt that folded piece of paper again. And finally he remembered what his mom had said to him. Being yourself is the only way to truly be happy. Axel took a deep breath and looked at the governor dead in the eye. No, thank you, he said. The governor was surprised. No, thank you, she repeated. We're not the same. Yes, we may have faced similar problems, but that's where the similarities end, and Axel explained. I always had the opportunity to live my life the way I wanted to, but I never did because I was scared of being judged. But now I realize that if I don't live my life the way that I want, it's not my life anymore. My mom once told me that the only way to be happy is to be yourself, regardless of what others think. And a new friend of mine told me that we have two choices. Fall under someone's definition of normality, or embrace who you are and accept the truth. And what truth is that? The governor asked with suspicion. There is no normal, Axel answered her simply. One person's normal is another person's abnormal. There's never been one set definition. So evidently, it doesn't exist. Everyone was surprised by what Axel had said, especially Austin and Caleb. The governor took a deep breath of her own and glared down at him. I guess I should have expected this. You're just too tender-hearted to do what has to be done for the sake of others. Pathetic. Suddenly she grabbed Axel and flung him against the wall behind her. Axel felt a stinging pain as he struck the ground, but he knew he couldn't give up now. Forcing himself onto his feet, Axel locked his gaze onto the computer. I've got to get it to the police outside, he said to himself. The governor slowly approached him again and grabbed him by the arm. Fine. If you don't want to be a part of this new chapter of humanity, I'll just have to put you with the others, she sneered. But Axel smiled. That actually reminds me of something my dad once said about chapters. And what's that? The governor asked sarcastically. You can move on to the next one of your life if you keep reading the old one. And with all the strength he had, Axel yanked his arm out of the governor's grip and ran for the computer and snagged it off the desk. The cords being yanked out of the ports as he ran away from the table. Run for it! Austin yelled as he watched Axel run out the door. But before he went any further, he quickly shut the door behind him and latched it shut before the governor could follow him. He then took off through the secret entrance and ran out into the hallway. The governor was completely livid. She screamed in pure rage as she slammed her fist onto a large red button on the wall, sounding an alarm. She then pressed a nearby intercom button and grabbed the microphone. Reid! He's got the laptop! Don't let that freak leave the building! She screeched as she began throwing a shoulder against the locked door. Finally, with a loud crack, the door broke open and she stormed out of the holding room. We gotta get out of here, Anthony cried. He needs help. But there was nothing they could do. All they could do at the moment was wait and hope that Axel could avoid getting caught.